What's up, and welcome back to the Scuffed Ass Podcast for episode number 255. Apparently, it's 2025 now.
Yeah, it would be.
At least we have to act like that for this show. It's not yet.
Yeah.
So we're still crying about 2024, but...
Yep.
So,
2024 was like probably the slowest yet fastest year of my life.
I was going to say, Wonder, talk about your experience with 2024. I just made a video yesterday talking about my thoughts on 2024.
I watched it.
Yeah.
It was a very boring day today, so I sat around and watched videos.
What, at work, or are you just at home? At work?
No, at work. A lot of the time, there's just so it's basically a ghost town at work. So
Yeah.
There's 0 work orders.
Nice.
So I just did my daily tasks and helped the new guy go through his insurance stuff. And
Bro's helping with insurance stuff. Oh my god.
because I'd recently gone through it, so I kind of understood,
Yeah.
kind of explained things to him. But
Bro's insured.
yeah, we are insured.
I'm only insured for like another year now.
That's right. You get me an old man.
I am. I'm getting old as fuck, man. Fuck. Dude. So I was talking about, the planned move to Seattle with my sister. And I'm like, well, it's been like 10 years since I've been to Seattle. She's like, no, it's been like 20. I'm like, there's no fucking... Holy shit. I looked at her and I'm like, when the fuck did we get so old?
Right?
2006 should not be 20 years ago, or even kind of close. That's not okay.
Right.
I can't be this old, Wonder.
How do you think I feel? I'm encroaching on 30, man.
Yeah, but see, yours doesn't count because you're actually just my age because that 2 years you spent at home with Mono. You didn't age, you just stayed at home.
That's true.
Doesn't count.
That's true. I mean, I didn't stay at home. I mean, I worked. I shouldn't have. I wasn't supposed to, but I didn't get a lot done. Couldn't really do a whole lot on my own. Yeah, mono's not very fun for some people.
Yeah.
Some people don't even know they had it. And then they go and share drinks with other people and give it to them. Bastards.
I remember that's how you avoided giving me COVID the first time. I kept trying to share a drink with you, like give you my drink, and you're like, no. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Turned out he was sick.
Yeah, I wasn't like, I had not yet lost my sense of smell and taste yet, but I just felt weird.
Well, and you
so
you definitely had started because I asked you to smell that one drink and you couldn't.
Right. I lost my sense of smell and taste at your house.
Yeah.
That's the weirdest shit because it was fine. And then it was just like nothing. I'm like, oh, this is no good.
It's no good. Yeah.
And then I thought for sure you were going to get it. And then you were going to blame me for the rest of my life that you got COVID for the first time.
Well, if I would have got COVID, I would have blamed you. That's for sure.
But you didn't. You actually went a really, really long time without getting COVID.
Yeah.
And then you finally did. And it kicked his ass.
Yeah. And I still think I had COVID first, but like before
I think you had it before I did.
Yeah, that
Before anybody
October
really knew
of
what it was.
2019 thing. Yeah. That upper respiratory infection that's just way worse than anything we've ever seen before.
Yeah, but we don't know what it is.
We don't really know what it is. I think I just had COVID, man.
Yeah.
I think I just had COVID. But I don't know. Remember tomorrow, if you start Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers at military time, I guess. I'm not converting it in my head very well right now. But at 21:13:19, you'll start the new year with Theoden saying, "So it begins."
I might have to do that.
I think I gotta find the one that gets Revenge of the Sith, and right at midnight you get Obi-Wan going, "Hello there." I gotta decide if I'm streaming for New Year's or not. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have to stream tonight. I need to make like $1 so I can get paid next month.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't made as much off of ads this month for some reason.
Weird.
I'm like $1.30 short on ads, which means I'm just short. It's tough. It's tough times. But it's also December, so like I get it.
Right.
And plus, like next month's gonna be crazy because I guess I forget I announced the next subathon today. Woo.
The 22nd, right?
Yeah, my birthday. Woo.
Yeah.
I was born once. Do you know that?
Yep. Weren't we all?
I don't know. Were we? Were we all?
Why can't I be? You know, I won a race of 1 trillion once. Why can't I win a race of like a lottery ticket once? I just need to be the luckiest person on earth twice, and I'd be set.
Hey man, win the lottery. I want a house. Especially if you win the current big one. I can get a place in Seattle for pennies on your dollars.
Sadly, it was one. I bought a couple tickets.
Yeah, so did the parents.
Yeah, I had one of the numbers on both tickets. Yeah. Apparently, the week before, somebody in Wyoming hit 5 numbers for $1 million.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
That'd be nice. I'd take a mill.
In all
reality, you only
after
get like
taxes, you get like 450, but yeah, yours is probably closer. It's just
well, the higher it gets, the more they take. So, like with the 1.1 billion or whatever, you bring home like 506 or something like that, 506 million.
Yeah.
But whatever. Yeah, someone in California won it again.
I mean, that is where most of the people are, so that right. Kind of tracks.
I know, but it's just wild. You would think somebody in like Florida or New York or Texas, anywhere else.
Now I'm looking for the apartment or the place I'm going to make you buy me when you win, inevitably.
I really wish you're not. I hope you're right,
Yeah.
There's a lot of problems that everybody would
see, and away. I think I might be asking you for the least of everybody.
Probably.
The Seattle places aren't even $500,000. I know that sounds like a lot, but like that small town that way, that's what houses cost. So that's just what houses cost for normal people houses. Obviously, I could find the one in Beverly Hills for $30 million and be like, hey, look at this. That's fucking stupid. I also don't want to live there.
True.
One earthquake and I'm in the ocean.
Right.
Seattle, yeah, I'm like a 30-minute boat ride away from a different country. I can just flee.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, if I had $500 million, a good quarter of that would probably be gone tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Between you buying land for you.
And then I would probably build my own house, which is more expensive.
Yeah. I would also love to do that. It's just impossible to find land anywhere I want to be.
Possible to find land, and it's impossible to afford to build your own thing.
That's also true.
Like, back before 2019, it was actually, feasible.
Yeah.
You could, if you were good at building, you could build your own house and save about half. Now it don't matter because fucking lumber is like,
well, and plus you almost don't want to build it yourself. Like, you're going to almost want to just buy. So either you want to buy land with a bunch of trees that you can cut down yourself, or don't use lumber. It's not cheaper to go with metal, but it is because like lumber sucks.
Right.
Nothing's cut the right size. Everything's warped and shitty. You're not building a nice house with lumber you can buy right now.
Well, my thing is look at the difference between lumber and metal.
What do you mean?
Like, Yeah, metal's more expensive, but not by much.
Not by much, and like metal's never going away.
Right. And
It's not gonna rot out,
we
at least not while you're alive.
right, don't have to worry about termites when you're
That too.
I mean structurally anyway.
Yeah.
Um but also my land would probably be around a bunch of trees, and wildfires seem to be a problem nowadays, so having an all metal building would not be, or brick and metal or whatever.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'd like my house to be, like the metal, like the framing and everything is metal, but
Yeah.
the exterior and the walls and stuff would be brick, insulated brick,
Yeah.
and I want heated like floors.
I want, dude, same. I would want like I guess all heated floors are probably just that. They use water.
They're not all that way.
No?
Nope.
I figured they
No,
all
a
were.
lot of them are, but there are some that are electric.
Huh. All I know is if I were ever building my own place, I only want electric appliances. I don't care.
Right.
I know. I know. Trust me, as someone who cooks a lot, I know gas is better. I don't want the possibility that my house can explode.
Right. Especially
Like
if you just
an
spent
electric
everything
fire,
you
yeah,
have.
that sucks, but just like kill the power. You can save most things. With a gas leak, you just like won't know, and then suddenly your house explodes.
Right. And then it just the fire goes until you shut the gas off.
Yeah, and for most things like electric fires, before the fire ever starts, you can smell it.
Uh-huh.
Because I had that almost happen in my room. Because our house, this part of the house was like an addition. So, somebody who was helping us put together, I'm not going to name names, used aluminum wire instead of copper wire in my room. We didn't know that. But yeah, I'm like walking around and I'm like, man, it smells like burning fish in here. What the fuck is that? Then I Googled it and I'm like, huh, that's a sign of an electrical fire. Yeah, when we pulled that socket out of the wall, it was like, oh, okay, that could have been really bad really soon. It wasn't yet.
At least you caught it.
Yeah. But I did. I just like kept walking around. I'm like, what the fuck is that smell, dude? It was bad.
Yeah, it's got a very distinct smell to it, don't it?
Yep. Hey, and that's a really good thing to know moving forward. It's like, hey, there's something wrong somewhere. What the fuck?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But what are you doing on your phone? What are you all distracted about?
Oh, at first I thought we were gonna buy like a small shipping container, but they weigh a lot.
Okay.
And they're a lot harder to move than we first anticipated. So now my girlfriend's sending me pictures of all these people that are selling like small sheds and stuff like that.
So what do you want this for?
So we can put it next to our house, so I'll have a place to put my lawnmower and my grill. And
So I don't know if I have this saved. So there's little, like, I gotta see if I can find it. I don't know if it's still for sale or like still available, but I found like a little, this is gonna sound weird, but it's like a little pop-up house that you could order on Amazon. It was really fucking cool. I hope I can find it.
I've seen something like
I might have showed you.
You might have. It just like folds out and you can.
Yeah, just like. Yeah,
there's
so
insulated walls.
16 grand. It's 13 by 20. Which like isn't huge. It has a bathroom built in, apparently. You probably have to add everything later, obviously, but like.
Right.
Like it's not like worse like build quality wise than like a trailer house. It just like is exactly that. Honestly, for 16 grand, if I could just find land, I would probably just do that. Just buy like one or two of these things and just plop it on some land. The issue is land's just as expensive.
Right.
But yeah, there are cheaper ones. You can get like a wait. Why is a 15 by 20 that is bigger cheaper? Oh, it doesn't have the bathroom built in.
Oh.
But you, for what you're talking about, wouldn't need the bathroom.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm just looking at like I don't know,
Yeah, you just want a shed,
like a
basically.
12 by 12 shed or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the shipping container idea because they're watertight and it keeps the mice out.
Yeah.
So if we decide to put like
So like this thing,
some of the girlfriend's
I'll
stuff in it.
link this to you later, but so you can look at it. But yeah, it's quite interesting. Yeah, but let me tell you, land is not something you can buy in Seattle very well. In case you were curious. Yeah.
Land's not really something you can buy anywhere, really.
I wish that came with the house that they're picturing because that's sick.
So they got this reverse auction thing
Okay.
on the radio that I've heard. I hear it every morning, and they advertise it. It's like, oh, I can't believe that this this property is, hasn't sold yet. I didn't think it would take this long, and blah blah blah. And they're like, this property is down to $80,000, and I'm like, huh. And they're telling it where it saying where it was at. It's kind of, they called it like an industrial area.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, how much acreage are we talking here? And it's like 2.8 acres or like 3 acres maybe at the most, the way it sounds. I'm like, 80 grand for 3 goddamn acres? Are you kidding me?
Yes.
No
Well,
wonder
no.
nobody freaking buying it. Now you guys like, I can't believe it hasn't sold yet. Well, yeah, I might buy 3 acres for, I don't know, 8, 9 grand, especially where it's at. There's just nothing there. In fact, I think it used to be kind of like a feedlot area, so it's gonna smell like shit.
Yummy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I paid 80 grand for 3 acre plot that smelled like shit.
Yeah.
Yay me. That's a great investment.
Is it weird? Okay. I want you and the people to judge me. Is it weird
Yes.
that I would rather live like in an apartment downtown in the city than live in a suburb where it's just like only houses and you still have to drive 30 minutes to get to anything? Like if you're actually just going to be that close to people, just live in an apartment building.
Well, my thing is,
What good does the suburb do?
right.
Like actually, like, am I psycho for thinking this way?
Well, no, and then it makes sense for you too because you already live in a room.
Right.
Like,
I'm good with a room. But
an
like
apartment's going to be like a fucking full blown ass house for you.
but like even a suburb though, think about it. Like is that not just an apartment but you have grass in between? Like
right.
how's that different than a hallway? Cuz you're still but it's like worse because it's so spread out and now you have to if you want to not live in a city, just don't.
Right.
Like why do you want this weird middle ground where you get none of the benefits of the city, only the drawbacks, but also none of the benefits of living out of town. Only the suburbs are fucking stupid. This is what I have to say. Right now,
Suburbs are just a place to live. That's what they are.
That's so stupid. I don't like it. Live in an apartment or move out. Like out. Or find like cool places with houses, which is kind of hard to do, but you can do it. It is possible.
Right.
And I'm talking true suburbs where there truly is like you have to drive, It's a 30-minute drive, and you got to get on the freeway to get to any of the things you would want to live in a city for. Oh, if I
Yes.
like the reason I want an apartment downtown is like if I want to go to the grocery store, I want to be able to walk.
It's like living in northern Phoenix or something.
Right. It's like
Or it's
I want
none
to be
of
able
a
to walk
suburb.
to the store and walk
Right.
to everything I want to do. I don't want to have to drive all the time. That's trash.
Right. Where my sister used to live in Phoenix, you the only thing you could walk to
Oh,
there was a gas station down the street, not too far, and that place got robbed like 2-3 times a month. So
how does that work?
I
That's
don't know. You
interesting.
got instructions?
No, so I'm looking at just pieces of land in and around Seattle. This one is like right on Seattle's not on the ocean, so it's like right on the bay. And like part of the land you buy has a beach, but your property line doesn't extend all the way up to the nearest road. How does that work? Like how do I get to my property without being on somebody else? Do I
Oh,
have to use the water?
so you're saying your property's landlocked? So
Yeah.
basically, you'd have to do one of two things: use the water,
Yeah.
or you would have to obtain a easement
That doesn't
to
sound like fun.
access your land. It depends. Like some people are super chill about it, like, oh yeah, cool,
Right, man. I
Most
just want a
people,
road. Just a quick
right, but
road.
most people are gonna be like, well, no, we don't want a road through our property, so you can get to your property.
Right?
You can go screw yourself on your easement.
125 grand just to not be able to get to the property.
Right.
You could buy a
There's a
boat.
reason why it's for sale.
You could buy a boat. Oh, that one's tough. You're like tucked in the tree. That'd be kind of sick though if you could build the house in the trees. Nobody would ever know you're there. I'm in the trees, man. I'm in the
Or
tree.
or you could be rich and own your own helicopter.
Well, if I was rich, I wouldn't be buying that small of a piece of land, let me tell you. Wasn't even a full acre for 125 grand.
Mm,
But it's like waterfront property in a city. Like I understand why it's the price it is. I really do.
right. Yeah, their thoughts are, well, somebody stupid will buy it eventually.
That's valid.
And
I'm
they're not
stupid.
wrong.
I'd do it eventually.
I've been tempted to just buy one of these little 40-acre or 30-acre freaking patches of land that they've been selling around here. Just buy it just to buy. And then turn around in a few years and sell it for triple what I bought it for, because somebody stupid will buy it eventually.
Right? No, knowing you, you'd just like have it. Like you'd just live there. You'd just give up and move there.
Or maybe. I mean,
Fuck it, I own the place, that
at least it's
that's
my land.
right, that's what I'm saying though. You'd just do the fuck it, I own the place.
So there was a house that was actually up for sale, and I think they wanted like 90 grand for it.
Yeah.
And I was tempted to buy. The house wasn't a very nice house. Like the house was falling apart. I almost bought it just for the land.
Yeah.
It was like 40 acres with the house on it, and it wasn't in the best area in the world, but just have 40 acres to sell down the road, or you know
Yeah.
all else fails, I can slap a house on it, and it already had a well on it, so
This house is really weird, but I can't. It's like a duplex, which isn't great, but I also kind of love just the way it's laid out. I don't know. I'm weird about the places I enjoy. I don't like where it's located that much, though. The city's way over there. I know. I'm a weirdo. I'm used to it.
yeah. What time
What time is dinner? I don't know.
is the
Wait,
brunch?
you're going to a brunch?
No,
Who are you, and what have you done
my
with the
sister
Wonder Woman?
is.
Why is she brunching?
Well, that my mom and her siblings are getting together for lunch or brunch or whatever, and
Oh,
she called it brunch, so I'm assuming 11 noon ish
yeah.
probably.
Even though to me that's lunchtime. I don't understand what brunch is.
Right. Well, I call it brunch if you're just going for lunch.
Like I think it's just like the type of like you eat it instead of breakfast or lunch, but like I think it's like specific food maybe.
Right? Are you having breakfast like hash brown and eggs at lunch, and it's breakfast lunch? So
No, because I think that would still be breakfast. So it's like any meal between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m., I guess. And then, I don't know. It's an excuse to start drinking at 11 a.m. on a Sunday. You know what? Fair enough. All right. Well, not fair enough. Don't drink. It's bad.
Yeah. You'll kill NFL players or someone else.
True. Yeah, for whatever reason, drunk drivers never kill themselves, only other people. It's really fucked up.
Right.
Yeah. Ugh. I don't know, man. So we're talking about football a little because I'm too excited about the Vikings just in general.
Yeah, I was just about to bring it up. How
the
about
heartbreak's gonna hit so hard, man. It really is. It's gonna hit so hard. It's gonna hurt so bad. But it's okay. I'm here for the ride because it's fucking awesome. Dude, Sam Darnold is annoying. He's so good. I don't know how you let him go at this point. Like, I actually don't. Because, like, the way I look at it is you draft J.J. McCarthy, and Darnold's supposed to be the bridge because Darnold's limited. You're hoping to get this really high-end stuff out of McCarthy that you can't get out of Darnold, except you're getting all of the really high-end stuff out of Darnold. Like, what isn't Darnold doing? What could be improved? Like, actually.
Right.
Yeah, you know what could be improved? The O-line. The issue is money, and I understand that. But also, part of me wonders, like, Darnold and Baker Mayfield are, and then Jared Goff to an extent, are these, but Goff, like, had success previously to the Lions, so I'm not really counting him.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, Baker, Darnold, Geno Smith are, like, three of the only examples ever of guys who were somehow not broken by the NFL. Like,
right.
And what I mean is, like, their career sucked to start. They went to a shitty place. They played shitty. And that didn't break them mentally, where it does for a lot of quarterbacks. If you're super talented and you get to the NFL and it all doesn't click, and I'm not saying click right away as in your first season. A lot of guys struggle for a year or two before figuring it out. But they normally figure it out where they're drafted and keep going. But when you bounce around to 3 or 4 teams and you suck everywhere you've gone, normally that breaks you mentally and you don't bounce back. So part of me is hoping if we're going to do we have to bring Sam back. And I kind of agree at this point. Like, did you see the video in the locker room yesterday?
I did.
When Sam came in and the fucking, I like
when O'Connell was just standing there. He's like, bro, what the fuck is going on?
You know what I saw in that look in his face? That's the, like, I built something special look. Like, and let's be honest, he did. Let's be real. How many teams in the league are better than the Vikings right now? Actually, not the, like, well, they're the Vikings. They'll fall apart in the playoffs eventually. Or, well, Sam Darnold will suck eventually. Right now, based off how they're playing, can you name two better teams? Like, actually?
Talent-wise on paper, probably not.
Right. Like, just watching them play every week. Right now, how many teams are just better? Maybe one, and it's the Chiefs. And even then, watching them, I don't know if the Chiefs are better. I just refuse to doubt the Chiefs. Because the Chiefs have what the Vikings have, but they've been doing it a long time. They understand this moment. We're figuring out the moment as we go. Luckily, Kevin O'Connell knows the moment. He's won a Super Bowl before. That's good.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
the players don't.
The Chiefs have voodoo magic, which is Andy Reid.
Well, the Vikings have that too, because voodoo magic is good coaching. That's why everybody thinks the Steelers have some dark magic, because they're always in the playoff no matter who their quarterback is. Yeah, because Mike Tomlin's a good coach. Voodoo magic in the NFL is good coaching.
Yeah, it's just Mike Tomlin gets to his, gets to the playoff winning record, and then he's like...
Well, it's because how much are you really going to do with Duck Hodges and Kenny Pickett and the corpse of Big Ben? Like, what are you doing? He shouldn't even be here. No other coach is getting you there, except maybe Andy Reid. And I guess Kevin O'Connell at this point. I have to include him in this conversation nowadays.
Right.
And the Vikings do the same thing as the Chiefs, where they have a defensive coordinator who, is... Steve Spagnuolo wasn't a great head coach. Flores was a good head coach, but he wasn't great. And he'll probably get another head coaching job, and I hate it. I hope he doesn't. Not for, because I don't like him, but, I hope that the Vikings ownership just pays him like a head coach to stay as our DC. I mean, he gets the praise like he's a head coach. I mean, every time somebody talks about the Vikings, it's you mention Kevin O'Connell and you mention Brian Flores. And it's because... every team that we consider a Super Bowl contender has a X factor, like a superpower. For the Chiefs, while they have good coaching, their X factor is Patrick Mahomes. It's quarterback play. For the Bills, it's Josh Allen. For the Ravens, it's Lamar. For the Lions, it's technically their run game and their offensive line. Same for the Eagles. For the Vikings, their one and only X factor is coaching. They're just going to outcoach you, and it just doesn't matter. So, which is awesome, but it's I don't want to lose either of those two pieces. Brian Flores is if we're talking about, I know this isn't how it works because that's not how salary cap works and it doesn't matter. But if for whatever reason it's you can pick between keeping Sam Darnold or keeping Brian Flores, you don't even consider Sam Darnold and you keep Flores because our superpower is how well coached we are.
Right. Especially when you got, as good as Sam Darnold has been playing, you do have an extremely good prospect sitting behind him. He was just injured,
And I also understand if we can get Sam Darnold to take a deal, because he has played himself into Allen and Burrow money. He's played himself into the $60 million a year category,
right?
Because
for him, I wouldn't take any less than Jordan Love money.
See, I wouldn't either. Other than maybe I would, specifically for him, and specifically if it were for this team. Not saying because Minnesota, but you have to think about it from his process. He was with the Jets. He was with the Panthers. He then went to the Niners as a backup. He's been to bad organizations. He knows what happens to him and his skill set when the situation isn't good. And that's not saying Sam Darnold needs a perfect situation. No, but most quarterbacks need help around them. There are 4 guys who it doesn't matter. Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Lamar. There's 4 guys where it's it doesn't matter. Give them high school kids. They'll win a Super Bowl. It doesn't fucking matter. There are 4 superhumans. Everybody else needs help somewhere. Whether it's a running game like Jalen Hurts has and Jordan Love has, or whether it's great receivers or a great defense. Fuck, Tom Brady needed a great defense. Aaron Rodgers, who we all looked at as the greatest thrower of the football to ever live, pure talent-wise, he's the best quarterback ever. Never won a Super Bowl without a top 10 defense. He only had it once, and he won a Super Bowl. Most guys need that extra bit. Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, Burrow, it sucks that they're all in the AFC, so it just keeps being Mahomes that wins. But when you're the best of them, you're normally the one who gets to win. When your teams are all flawed and you're just relying on the superpower, the best of the superhumans is going to win. You've got the Flash, Green Lantern, Superman, and Wonder Woman. Yeah, Superman's winning every time. I'm sorry. I don't know what to do with that.
I didn't realize how young Darnold was.
Yeah, he's 27.
Because he was one of the youngest to be drafted into the NFL, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was 20.
Yeah.
Basically the same as what J.J. McCarthy is. If we signed Sam Darnold for the next 4 years, which is the entire length of J.J.'s contract, so you wouldn't do that because you'd want to see J.J. one way or the other. But you could totally Jordan Love this thing. If you signed Sam for 3 years, he's only 30 when he's done, which means he can go make really big money with his next team if he continues on this path, which I think if he stayed in Minnesota with those weapons, with that coach, he would.
And I guess what you bring up makes a lot of sense. Like, I think me as a person, I'd rather take make a deal with a team where I know I can win, and have a shot to at least have a shot at the Super Bowl, because it's going to benefit me in the end.
Like, Vegas might pay you 60, but like, if the Vikings give you the Baker Mayfield 30, where you're gonna win, and like 30 is still life-changing money, and then you're only 30 when this is over. You can go sign that 5-year huge money deal after, with all of this success, because then it's not a team looking at you like, we're not going to guarantee you as much because we haven't seen you do it multiple times. Now you've done it for 4 years, and it's like, oh, this guy. And then the Vikings are left rocking with JJ on a 1-year thing, and then you get to sign him after that, which could work. I still think the correct answer is go a 2-year deal, and you front load it so most of the money's guaranteed next year. That way, if it goes bad, you can just let him walk and get JJ as quickly as possible. And if it goes good, he's still getting paid. You get 3 total years of Darnold. He's 29 when it's over. It all works out.
Right.
But, like, I also do understand, how do you turn down $60 million a year? Like, I do understand that.
Right. Well, I mean, he like, say someone next year offers him 60 mil. Are you going to, and especially if it's not a good team or it's a worse team, you're going to go over there, you're going to get your ass kicked, you're going to look bad, and then, you made your 60 mil, but overall you're going to lose money because people are going to be like, oh, you're a bad quarterback, and not want to pay you. You're going to as a backup again, or, he's already been through that. So I think he would rather get paid a little less money and stay where he can win. Overall, you're going to keep winning. You're going to keep making money, as a starter. Yeah. Even if it's only 30 mil.
Only 30 mil. That's still life-changing money. Like,
right. But like, in a quarterback standpoint, even quarterbacks that like, look at Mac Jones.
Yeah. But it's also one of those things where I know he could leave, and while I do say, the Giants suck, the Raiders suck, the Titans suck, why would you want to go there? You know who else has to re-sign their quarterback and make a decision? San Fran. Do you choose to walk there and just take over where there isn't somebody trying to take your job?
Right.
Like, I don't know. Now, I personally still stand by I like that the Vikings haven't had a conversation with him about a contract, because I still do think the playoffs matter. Now, I don't know, but it's also one of those things. This week against the Packers was a playoff game. And he looked like the best quarterback in that game. Next week against the Lions is a playoff game. Like, I know it's not technically, like, if we lose, we still get another game, but like, there's a lot on the line in this game against the Lions. Like,
I was about to say,
this is the one seed. Dude, if we get the 1 seed, I'm picking the Vikings to go to the Super Bowl. I do not care. I do not believe any team in the NFC can march into US Bank Stadium and beat us. I do not.
Right.
If we don't get the 1 seed, then it's like, it's 7-1. The only team we lost to was the Lions on a last-second field goal. Like, I get it. We lost
now with
to
the healthy Lions. Now they're all banged up.
Yep.
So,
I don't know.
I'm not going to say the Vikings are going to go in there and sweep them, but
hey, man,
I think they have a shot.
Everybody told us we couldn't sweep the Packers, and we did. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the score does not reflect what happened in that game.
No, dude, this is the exact way I'm putting it. NFL on CBS is putting in words. I like it. I'm gonna say what they put in a second, but the thing I've been saying about the Vikings-Packers game, both this time and the last time, because both times we had 20-point leads in these games. I keep seeing Packers fans doing the thing they did last time. well, a missed field goal or whatever is what cost this game. No. You cannot pretend it was a close game when outside of the first quarter, you did not take a single snap with a chance to take a lead. If you never had a chance to take a lead, not only in the second half, but not even in the second quarter, did you have a chance to take a lead? You were not in that game. You had the lead for 3 minutes in the first quarter, and then we scored a touchdown. And then we kicked a field goal, and it was a 7-point game. And until the final 30 seconds, it was more than a 7-point game. In that final 30 seconds, you never had a snap with the ball. You never had a snap with a chance to take the lead. It was never close. You can try to do the moral victory thing all you want, but that's actually just not how this works.
Right. Yeah, you got bodied the whole fucking game.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, the Vikings did that thing all NFL teams do, and it pisses me off. You go prevent at the end of the game and just let teams do. I hate that. Like, just fucking bully them. And it's not well, why don't the Vikings put them away? I mean, we tried. If it wasn't for a holding call, it never even gets to be a less than 7-point
the phantom holding call.
Because, oh my God, that catch by Justin was sick.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
The greatest catch that never counted, as Tom Brady put it.
Right?
That was so sick, dude. But yeah, I don't know. Sam Darnold is fucking. This isn't the Case Keenum year, which is a thing I keep having to tell people because the internet keeps trying to tell me, well, it's just a fluke like that Case Keenum year. It's not. Because Keenum wasn't running the offense. Sam Darnold is making throws Keenum never thought of. This is Sam Darnold running a team. Like, genuinely. Now, I hope we get another year of him in this offense to prove me right. And if we don't, all bets are off. If he goes to Vegas, I don't know. Like, actually, I don't know. It depends on who they get for their next coach and what they do.
Right.
But I genuinely think Sam Darnold right now is better than, like, Kirk Cousins ever was, and he had the same team.
Right.
He
definitely has a little more, like, Kirk Cousins had talent.
Sam Darnold has juice that a lot of, like, the guys you would consider in this tier, the Goffs, the Cousins, the Prescotts. Sam has, I don't know if it's just the fuck it gene, which I think is, like, actually important.
Right.
Dak, Kirk, Goff, most of the time are just afraid to say fuck it. Sam has that.
Like Rush.
My arm's good enough to make this throw. He doesn't second guess it. Yeah, there's like 3 guys kind of around there, but there's a window. I think I can make it work. And yeah,
and it's Justin Jefferson. So,
right. But yeah, sometimes it leads to a pick, but a lot of the time it doesn't. That aggressiveness is important. But it also, yes, it does really help when it's Jefferson and Addison and even Speedy Naylor. Speedy had a day yesterday. I was happy for him.
Yeah, he did.
But the NFL on CBS just posted does Darnold deserve MVP consideration? He has more passing yards than Lamar and Josh Allen. He has 7 less total touchdowns than Lamar and 5 less than Josh. Got a better passer rating than Josh, higher completion percentage than both of them, a better record than both of them. And he's probably not going to get a single vote for MVP.
Welcome to the Vikings.
Yeah, dude. It's a little annoying. Okay, and we're not going to do that. One has Derrick Henry, one has Justin Jefferson, one has nothing. Bills fans do not get to tell me how much they love James Cook and Keon Coleman and Khalil Shakir and Amari Cooper. You don't get to tell me how good they are and how underrated they are. But then when you're trying to make an argument for Josh Allen, you go, well, actually, they all suck and we should just shoot them in the head. No, you either love them and they're good or they're ass. I get they're not Justin Jefferson, but, like, come on now. They are either good or they are not. You don't get to have them, well, they're good as long as I'm not arguing about MVP. And then when I'm trying to give my guy an award that he doesn't deserve, no, that's not how we're doing this. That's not how we're doing this. Stop.
No, I look at it more of not like, I always knew they were talented.
Yeah.
But, like, going into this season, there really wasn't like this guy's wide receiver number 1.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So now I have to say this then. If it's a going into the season, we didn't know. Going into the season, people didn't think Sam Darnold was a starting quarterback. And now he has better numbers than that guy. Maybe the narrative should be for, I don't know what you do. I don't know how the MVP race odds change if the Vikings win next week. Imagine he goes and throws 4 touchdowns, beats the Lions, and gets the 1 seed. How do you not at least actually consider it?
Right. Well, and there's a lot of people that are bringing up Joe Burrow now.
Oh, yeah. If they make the playoffs, you got to consider him, dude. Speaking on the value number, it's Burrow.
In my mind, it's like, I want Josh Allen to be MVP.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter to me that much. I don't think it really matters to Josh Allen that much.
I don't think it matters to any of the guys. Like, actually.
Really, they don't. They're just trying to win. They're trying to do what's best for their fan base and what's best for their team. They don't really give a shit about it. No. It's the fans that want their player to be MVP so they can be like, oh, our player was an MVP. You know what? I'd rather someone else gets an MVP, but we go win the Super Bowl.
Right, 100%. I'm just speaking of this from the Vikings perspective, where we're always disrespected, so I feel like I gotta why isn't Sam talked about? Also, why isn't Saquon talked about more? Actually, I kind of understand why, because he's the only running back to get to 2,000 yards with an above-average offensive line. The only one. Like, when Adrian Peterson did this, he had one of the worst offensive lines in football. When Eric Dickerson did this, he had a bad O-line. When CJ 2K did it, when Derrick Henry, that's the difference to me is and that's not a shot at Saquon. He's awesome. No. And he's probably going to go get this record. He's sick. Because we knew he was sick before this. But it's also well, why did Adrian get the MVP and he didn't? It's because Adrian carried them to the playoffs. The Eagles were a playoff team, whether Saquon's there or not.
Right, exactly.
And then it also hurts him that Washington game when Jalen Hurts got hurt. They lost a huge lead. If they win that game by just riding Saquon throughout, then I think people have a different conversation. Mostly because of that middle of the MVP word, that value.
Yeah.
Which is why Burrow needs to be in that conversation. And Josh and Lamar are there, is because that
was the other thing I was going to bring up is of all the MVP years, I think this one's a tough year for voters, honestly.
Yeah.
Especially
you're damned if you do and damned if you don't, no matter which way you go.
Exactly. There's several different people that you could mention that, deserve to be recognized. It annoys me that Sam Darnold is not recognized more. Now, I will say, when it comes to media, I am starting to hear a lot more talk about the Vikings.
Yeah.
Which is abnormal as fuck.
But it's because now you can't. Okay. It was because going into this week, everybody was doing I'm picking the Packers. They're the better team. And I think they're a more complete team and they're a Super Bowl contender. And then you watch the Vikings just belt to ass. It's not even kind of close. And people have to go, oh, holy shit. Are they actually? Right. And now you have to talk about them. And then when you start talking about them, you start looking back at all these games and you go, oh, they've been doing this all year. This isn't. Yeah, there was the Jaguars game. We had a bad game. I can't deny that.
Right.
But everybody does.
One thing I'll bring up about that, though, is the Vikings love to be in a close game.
Kevin O'Connell is the second greatest coach in history in one-score games.
This is what pisses me off about Kansas City Chiefs. The media will cover the Chiefs and, they're the greatest team of all time because they can win close games. Look at the Vikings' records between one-score games. Look at their record. Even within the last couple of years.
In the last 3 years, they're 25-9 in
25-9
games.
That's crazy when it comes to close games because those are games that could have went either way, but you are 25-9.
Yeah. I'm trying to see other things. I'm reading things. I wanted to look at the Vikings just can't stop playing in one-score games.
I would love to say that the Bills are a really good close game team. But they're not. They've never won in overtime ever with Josh Allen.
Really?
I'm pretty sure that's a true thing. I don't think the Bills have ever won in overtime with Josh Allen. Not one time.
Now I gotta
You'll
look.
have to check me on that.
I'm looking.
But
I'm intrigued.
I'm just thinking to myself right now, how many times has Josh Allen won in overtime? I cannot remember one time.
Okay, so this was last year, so I don't know if that's changed. But because this article is from last year, but as of last year, he was 0-6 in overtime games. So you might be right.
I'm pretty well. He hasn't had any overtime games this year. I don't think.
I'm looking at that now because it should say final OT if they went to OT. It should say, and I guess I got to look at last year because that was like in November, so I got to make sure they didn't close out the year. They did not close out the year with one. Didn't go to overtime in the playoffs. Preseason doesn't matter. No, so he's 0-6 in overtime games.
Yeah, that's concerning to me.
Yeah,
that tells me that if they go to the Super Bowl, or if they're trying to get to the Super Bowl and they ever have a close game, there's no way they're going to make it.
Yeah,
and it's. I mean, I hope that changes. I will say Josh Allen is playing like I've never seen him play before.
Yeah.
Not stats wise, but just the talent wise, and I don't know. I guess his getting engaged and stuff has just lit a fire under his ass that I don't know. It's working for him, whatever it is. But I've not seen him play like this before, which is.
Sorry, I think it's 26-9 after yesterday, but.
Oh well, technically, yeah, because it was a one-score game in the end.
Yep. And hey, you still had to make the play because who knows?
Right.
If we don't get that first down on that Cam Akers throw, Packers get the ball. Who knows? That's a whole different world.
Right.
Also, that one's fun. Kevin O'Connell's record when his starting quarterback plays. Now, just his starting quarterback. It doesn't matter if it was Kirk or Darnold or whatever. Mm-hmm. His starting quarterback, he's 30-10. He has lost 10 games with a starter. And in both seasons where his starter was truly fully healthy. This year he has 2 losses. His first year he had 4. Because, Sam Darnold just passed Kirk Cousins for the franchise leader in victories in a single season. Because our 15-1 year started with Brad Johnson. So Randall Cunningham doesn't have all 15 under his name. So Sam Darnold is one of the greatest. Sam Darnold's 5 touchdowns away from having the most passing touchdowns for a quarterback in a season in Vikings history. He already passed Kirk's career high, and I think that's really funny.
Right.
That makes me really happy. It really does.
Well, I mean, he takes shots, man. Kirk he was bashful. You cannot be a bashful quarterback.
No. But I don't know, man. The one-score games thing helps. That's the one thing of all these close games. It's like, it just shows the Vikings know how to handle that. Because in the playoffs, you're not blowing people out, probably. Now, if we get the 1 seed and, let's say the Falcons win a playoff game, we might blow them out. But that's different, That's a team surprised everybody and moved on and then had to face a real team. And it wouldn't matter if the Lions had the 1 seed and the Falcons moved on. The Lions are going to blow them out too. That's not a Vikings hype. That's a Falcons are bad.
Right.
And the Falcons probably aren't going to make the playoffs, so it's okay. The Bucks, the Falcons need a lot to go their way next week if they want to still sneak in. But they're the only team left fighting. The AFC turned into a more interesting playoff picture. And that's just because there are 3 teams that could still sneak in. Because the Broncos might fuck it up. And I can't lie, I'm rooting so hard for them to fuck it up. So hard.
Right. So the Broncos have to lose in order for
if the Broncos lose, the Bengals or the Dolphins are going to the playoffs. Unless the Bengals and the Dolphins both lose.
Right. But I also find it funny if, the Chiefs, throw their second string in and let Denver win, then they know they wouldn't have to face Burrow.
If you're the Chiefs, you'd rather face Burrow. I'm not kidding. The Bengals defense sucks. Also, here's the thing. You don't have to face Burrow. The Chiefs are the 1 seed. You're forcing Josh Allen to face Burrow. And if the Bills lose to the Bengals and you're the Chiefs, you're fucking hyped. Because now you don't have to play the Bills, who are a real football team. The Bengals don't have a defense. They don't scare me. If I'm the Chiefs,
don't have that great of a defense
I
either.
promise. I don't promise, but I think it's like 70-30. I think the Chiefs play their starters next week, at least for the first half, mostly because the Chiefs have never done the 2 weeks off thing, and they never will, because that's how you get rusty. And then you get shithoused in your first playoff game because, well, Josh Allen had to play, 2 other games and we didn't. And the Bills might rest their starters. They're locked in the 2 seed. So I could see the Bills not playing next week. But also they might just trying to get Josh the MVP.
Right.
That's an option.
But I feel like that, they might play Josh for the first half and then Trubisky takes over the second half or whatever.
I could see that.
You know what?
Really, there's only one game. So the Buccaneers and the Falcons are going to play their starters all day. The Bengals and the Dolphins are going to play their starters all day.
Mm-hmm.
The only other game where I think we're guaranteed to see starters the entire day is Vikings-Lions. Because nobody else really cares. So,
Right. You know what's wild to me? Aaron Rodgers lost the one fantasy league I was in for me. He had 2 points. He threw the ball 17 times, and he had a whole 2 points in my fantasy league.
Yeah.
You know who had more fucking fantasy points quarterback-wise? Trubisky, and he threw 1 pass. 1. Yeah. God damn it, Aaron.
Don't worry, I'm going to lose my Dynasty League for a 3rd year in a row. I'm going to get second 3 years in a row. All because I kind of fucked up. This time it's actually my fault. It wasn't an injury thing. I forgot to put Lamar back in the lineup. Which isn't that big of a deal. I still had Sam Darnold, but Lamar had an insane week. Most of the time you're looking at, 26 points from your quarterback and you're like, okay, cool. But it's when the other guy puts up 40 something. It's like, God damn it.
Right.
So I need a big game out of Jahmyr Gibbs, out of George Kittle, and out of Brian Branch. I still have a chance, but I'm down 80 points. I need a big day. I need a big day. But this is that 1-score games thing, man. You got to have that clutch factor. I don't know if I do.
You just need one guy to pop off with 50 points or something.
Dude, George Kittle, catch me some touchdowns today, would you? But yeah, I don't know. There's something about this year I'm excited for. I don't know. I keep getting annoyed at all the Vikings fans, man. I'm just waiting for the wheels to fall off, or I refuse to get excited. It's
trust me,
dude,
the Bills fan base is the worst when it's right now.
Though? If you refuse to buy into the team, if they win, it's not going to mean the same. And I'm not talking about, somebody made this comment, and they're like, oh, so you needed to sit through the 13-3 years to be able to care? No, but if you spent the entire season saying our team actually sucks and aren't going to win, it's not going to feel that good when they win. Whereas I'm so bought in. So yeah, when we lose, it's going to hurt my soul if we do. But also, how about I just put it this way? Win 4 games and we have a ring. That's it. 4 games. 4 games. Starting next Sunday. 4 games.
Right.
4 games. But let's start by winning 1 game and locking up home field. Because the bank's going to be loud, man. I hope that they bring Guinness out like the Chiefs did for that game where they tried to set the record. I don't think they should tell the fans they're going for the record. Just make Guinness be there to test it. Because I bet you we break the record for loudest stadium ever. I bet.
Right. Dude, do you imagine? This is why I want the Bills and the Vikings in the Super Bowl so bad. Can you imagine the Bills Mafia and the Vikings crowd in the same fucking stadium
together? The issue is we wouldn't get that. Because no actual fans can afford to go to the fucking Super Bowl.
They'll figure it out, dude.
Dude, I would love to. If the Vikings get home field, I'm going to do my best to figure out how to get to one of these playoff games, man.
Right.
I gotta. I've also decided that if we beat the Lions next week, I'm buying a Sam Darnold jersey.
I mean, as you should.
Yeah.
He is the all-time greatest quarterback for
No,
Vikings.
Fran Tarkenton still exists. We have a Hall of Fame quarterback that played for our team. I never saw him, and most people didn't, but that's okay. It was a long time ago.
Of our time, I should say.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
It's just like probably the Bills will never have another Josh Allen. Most likely.
I like this person. As a Vikings fan, Sam should take up roughly 1% of the MVP combo. Same with Burrow. The other 98 should be spent telling Bills fans that Lamar is better. I love that.
Right.
And that's not me hating on Josh Allen. He's been great this year. But Lamar is fucking nuts right now, dude.
Right.
Especially when you actually look at it, and this whole, well, Lamar has Derrick Henry. Yet Josh Allen technically through this season has a top 10 defense. Lamar has a bottom 5 defense. One of those things matters a little more. And I still think, now that Josh couldn't get the 1 seed, that head-to-head matchup should matter. Josh played like shit against the Ravens. Like he just did. That was Josh's stain on the record. Everybody has one.
Right. Well, yeah.
Because Lamar's is the Raiders.
Lost to a couple people they shouldn't have. Yeah.
But yeah, like everybody has the stain. But
I wonder. I just think to myself, like I look at Lamar's stats and they are above Josh. Like by okay margin, I would say.
Yeah.
But I also wonder what's the the play time difference.
Actually, Josh has more plays. Lamar has sat out entire second halves. Josh hasn't sat for a minute this season. Here, let's look. Let's look at the exact.
I was just curious. I'm gonna.
Let's look at the
I
exact
don't know if
number.
that's even possible.
I can get snap. Like I can't tell you the amount of time on the field, but we can do snap count, which is like, to me, that's good enough.
Okay.
Lamar has taken 1,007 snaps.
Okay.
Josh Allen has taken they're like exactly the same.
Really?
Yeah, that's surprising. Bills are big play merchants. No, actually, the difference is how much Baltimore runs the football. Like, because Lamar has more snaps, but it is because snaps when you're running the football still count as snaps. And, like, Josh Allen runs a lot, but the Bills as a team do not. The Ravens come out of every game with 50 rushing attempts.
I would say that the Bills have rushed more this year than they've ever rushed.
Yeah, 100%.
Mainly because you've got James Cook, and then we found out that Davis is really good.
Yeah.
He's a hard running person. And between those two, they actually ran the ball quite a bit this year compared to normal.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Cook is only 4 touchdowns away from having the all-time rushing touchdown for running backs for the Bills.
Oh, for the Bills. I'm like, huh?
For the Bills.
I was thinking, when did he get over 20 rushing touchdowns? My God.
I think he's got 15.
Yeah. That's nuts. I want to look at NFL rushing leaders.
I think James Cook is the rushing leaders. Touchdown wise, I think James Cook's sitting 5th or 6th or something like that.
So obviously Saquon's number 1 because he just broke 2,000. And there is technically a world where Derrick Henry could do it. It's not a likely world, but 217 yards is not an impossible number.
Right, especially...
Now, I wouldn't do that if I'm the Ravens, but also part of me is That'd be really cool to have 2,000-yard rushers in a season, man.
Right.
James Cook has not broken 1,000 yards yet, which is wild. He needs 19 on Sunday, so.
Yeah.
But
he's
rushing
also sharing
touchdown.
those.
James Cook is leading the league in rushing touchdowns.
Huh.
That's wild.
Damn, I didn't know that.
The most explosive running back. Well, so the guy with the most 20-plus yard runs is Saquon and then Derrick Henry. And the only guy other than those two with double digits is Jonathan Taylor. And then 40-yard runs, Saquon has 7, and then James Cook is tied with Jonathan Taylor and Derrick Henry for 4 40-plus yard runs.
I mean, James Cook, if he gets in some open space, he is an explosive runner. Like, he's got some acceleration that I didn't know he had.
Yet Derrick Henry still has the longest rushing touchdown of the season.
Guess who it was against?
Yeah, point and laugh at Buffalo, everybody.
They were still trying to figure things out, okay?
Sure.
Their defense was rough to start with, all right?
Sure.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
The other two guys in the top 3 for rush, like longest singular rush, is Isaac Guerendo and Taysom Hill. The NFL's weird.
It is a weird place.
Okay, so just looking at rushing yards will help because sorting by yards will let me see Aaron Jones again. Aaron Jones' longest run is only 41 yards. Kyron Williams is 3rd in the league in rushing yards right now. And his longest run is 30 yards. Also, I'm so happy the Vikings bullied the Packers a little bit, just because I don't have to listen to Josh Jacobs is top 5 in rushing yards bullshit, because he's now 1 yard short of Bijan Robinson for the 5 spot, which is really funny. Because, he didn't even get 100 yards against the Vikings. It was also funny. Jordan Love did not have 100 yards passing with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The Vikings defense really can't. The Vikings also did something yesterday that I've never seen them do, especially with the corners they have. They went man-to-man on the Packers 60% of the time. The Vikings just straight up said, yeah, we're just going to beat you one-on-one, and there's nothing you can do about it. And they were right. It wasn't until they started playing zone that the Packers started playing good.
Well, the way I seen it, it looked like they played man-to-man, but also they had like a 2 deep.
Well, yeah, it's cover 2.
Like cover 2 zone.
Well, yeah, it's cover 2. Yeah. You keep the two high safeties, and then you man up at the receivers. Because you know with the Packers, they're always going to have a tight end, so you're manning him with a linebacker, either Ivan or Blake Cashman. And let me tell you, having Ivan Pace back made me really happy. Dude, the first play of the game, he almost fucked it up, though. He was a little too amped, I think, because he overshot Josh Jacobs. He fired out of a cannon and then had to like stop and grab him by the shoulder pads. Like, oh fuck! He was too ready to go. It was great. But then with Josh Jacobs in, like the Packers can't do the sending 5 wide. Okay, they could. They just don't. Right. Which, why would you? Josh Jacobs has been fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to piss off some people in fantasy football, though, the way yesterday went. I know some guy who lost a league because he had Josh Jacobs and Aaron Jones, and he had to watch Cam Akers and Emmanuel Wilson score touchdowns. It's like, that's tough, buddy.
Right.
Apparently, Kevin O'Connell's soft, though, because he benched Aaron Jones at the end of the game. No, Aaron Jones got a little hurt. And instead of being like, well, we can just run him, we were like, well, we need you more next week. Cam Akers and Ty Chandler exist. They can handle this. And then they did.
Right.
Cam Akers, the only guy the Vikings have ever traded for twice. We traded for him last year in the middle of the year, and then he came back and tore his ACL. And then we let him walk, and he went to Houston, and then we traded for him in the middle of the year. And he keeps making big plays. Also, CJ Ham won us the game, and that feels cool. I was so happy when he caught that pass. I flipped out a little. Also, the rookies doing stuff again. Dallas Turner. All the people who told me he was a bust because the Vikings have 3 guys who are in the top 10 in sacks at his position. So he's just not getting a lot of snaps. But he's a bust because he didn't get a lot of snaps.
Right.
It's like, and then the last 3 weeks. Last week he had the pick. This week, a sack in the fourth quarter when the Packers are trying to drive. And then the sack 2 weeks ago in the fourth quarter when a team's trying. It's like, no, Dallas Turner's really good. It's just when you have 3 guys with 10-plus sacks, they get the reps over him. That's how it works.
Right. It's nice to know you have backup.
Right. You play the hot hand. And also, Dallas Turner, the thing people don't seem to want to understand is Dallas Turner is not just an edge rusher. He is Andrew Van Ginkel 2.0. So half the time when he's out there, he's not even rushing the passer. He's dropping into coverage. That's his job. I don't know. I'm excited. The Vikings are good at football. It's weird. Will Reichard, figure your shit out. If you miss a field goal next week, I would cut you and bring back John Parker Romo. I'm not even kidding. I've loved Will Reichard all year, but yesterday scared me. 2 misses? The first one didn't have me feeling that bad. You attempted his career long and he missed it. Okay. Mm-hmm. And missed it just short. Like it was a perfect kick. It just was short.
Yeah.
Okay. So we need to keep it inside 55 yards. Good to know. Like that doesn't bug me as much. The one where you missed wide left, there's some trauma there. I'll cut you.
I was about to say, well, at least it doinked.
That's fair. But I swear to fuck.
Completely miss.
I swear to God, if we lose a playoff game due to a wide left kick from Will Reichard. I'm not going to tell the FBI what my plan is. It wasn't me. I was with Wonder the entire time. Yeah.
They wouldn't care as long as it doesn't involve a CEO.
True. Oh. That's wild. Oh my God. Dude, I'm going to be so toxic. Dude, if Sam Darnold marches into Detroit and takes the 1 seed from them in their best season in franchise history, Lions fans are going to hate me more than they already do. Lions fans also sure talk a lot of shit. So last week for Run the North, we did our episode talking about the Lions and how all these injuries, especially the 3 newest ones, they lost their best corner, they lost their big defensive tackle, and they lost David Montgomery, who is like the heart and soul of that team. And we said, no, this might be like the actual thing that breaks the Lions. And then they came out and they slaughtered the Bears, and people were like, yeah, this didn't age too well. It's like, dude, it's the Bears. The fact that you only won by 17 should scare you. Like, actually, though.
Right. That's like someone saying they're going to go get in a fight with a baby, and then they destroy the baby, and then
it's like cool,
try to brag about it. But the baby also got like a nut punch in and knocked you down for a few seconds.
Like, I don't like. Tonight and next week will tell us whether we were right about our thought that these injuries are going to be a lot for the Lions. If they lose back-to-back games, which they totally could, the Niners are not a bad team. They're not a good team, but that's mostly because they're also, like the Lions, very injured, and they're asking Brock Purdy to play Superman, and he is not. I repeat, not Superman.
Yep.
Yep. But, like, that's insane.
I'm pretty sure he's just kryptonite. He just is kryptonite.
No.
He has the ability to kill
We got to figure out who Mahomes' kryptonite is.
No shit.
Josh Allen's kryptonite is Mahomes, or maybe just the color red. I don't really know. I wonder, is it more Mahomes or is it more the color red? Okay.
I think it's red.
Okay.
We really like to lose to people that are red in color. Have you seen?
See,
look
and
what
you also
happens every
lost to
time
the
we wear
Bengals, which orange is red, and then you lost to the Vikings, and purple is just kind of red. It's half red.
Anytime we wear the stupid red uniforms, we almost lose. Every time we either do lose or almost lose.
Yeah, maybe Josh is just afraid of the color red. So what is Mahomes' kryptonite? Who does he lose to? He lost to the Bucks, but that was Brady, which isn't really fair. Superman met God. I don't know.
Right?
I don't know, man. Brady doesn't count. Brady is the only guy to beat Mahomes. Oh, my God. In a game that matters. It's only been Brady. Oh, no, Burrow did it once.
Yeah.
So is it the color black? Because the Raiders beat Mahomes every once in a while, too. Is it just the color black? Because Bengals and Bucks both have black in their uniforms. Because it's not pewter. It's not orange. It's definitely not red. So, I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe there is no... It's all fun and games until we find out the kryptonite from Mahomes is just Sam Darnold.
God, I hope so.
That's my other big thing is what do the Vikings do if they win a Super Bowl? Who do you run with? I don't fucking care.
Yeah, that's me with the Bills. If they win, I'm happy.
If we go win this Super Bowl, well, do you bring Darnold back? I don't care, dude. Actually, I don't care. Well, do you just let him go and go with JJ? Don't care. You could trade them both for a bag of peanuts. I don't fucking care. I don't. I don't care, man. I'm not gonna be like Chiefs fans and we got to run it back for another one. Man, Vikings fans have waited long enough. As long as we get the one, I don't care. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Oh God. People judge me when I say that. But whatever.
I just want to be a part of somebody winning the Super Bowl for the first time.
Hey, we got to see that in 2017 with the Eagles.
Well, yeah, but
that was the Eagles. Fuck them.
That was one of the teams I didn't really care for. So,
and they beat the Vikings to do it, the bastards.
Right. Yeah. And they won when everybody said they should win. Too. It's not I also like an underdog story, so.
You know what? I like Xavier McKinney. Might be the only Packer I say that about, but somebody asked him yesterday, are you on a level with those teams, talking about Detroit, Minnesota, and Philly? And he's like, I want to say yeah, but right now, we haven't beaten those teams. We got to be more on in our details, and we got to play cleaner, and got to start faster. It's he's actually real. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, you know what the answer is for you want to beat those teams? Tell Jordan Love to remember what a football was. Jordan Love sucked most of the day yesterday. Now, I do think most of that was because the Vikings defense just beat him. Actually.
Well, the Vikings defense is a little confusing sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
When it comes to being a quarterback.
Oh, yeah. And I'm sure because we've seen it these last couple of weeks, we're back at the point where Brian Flores is having fun with it. He started it early in the year just to get some stuff on tape. You got to have people thinking. And then, because remember, for the middle part of the year, up until the Seattle game, it was man, Flores stopped doing all the pre-snap motion and now it's just back. They're we're fucking around. We'll see. Mm-hmm. We just dropped the defensive tackle back into the deep third. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it?
Yeah. Yeah, you're thinking, oh, it's man coverage, and all of a sudden, oh, it's cover 6 zone.
Yeah. What is happening?
Shit, I don't have anybody to throw to on a screen? What the fuck?
Well, you could try. You might.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, everybody tries, and then Andrew Van Ginkel says, I'll take that thing, too.
Yeah, that's pick 6. Big and really good, easy way to throw a pick 6.
I love this team. All right. I got to figure out what I'm streaming tonight. Ugh, I have no idea. Something, though.
I'm just hoping they let me out of work early tomorrow so I can go
Oh,
shoot a deer.
I hate that he's a lion, but it's pretty great seeing Teddy Bridgewater in the NFL again. It makes me happy. It makes me happy. Ugh. But I know he's not gonna play, but that's okay.
He's just happy to be there.
Yeah. But it's just cool seeing him exist again.
Mm.
After going and coaching a high school team to a state championship because he's the GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
Your favorite quarterback never did that. God, it's weird seeing him in the number 12, though. Don't know if I like that. But whatever. Teddy Two Gloves, he's back.
Mm-hmm.
But all right. I don't think I have anything else to talk about. You got anything else to talk about? Well, I did, but we're not going to talk about the subathon an hour and a half into this episode. We'll save that for next week.
There you go.
But
it'll be closer to the subathon anyway. So
yeah. I gotta talk to you after we finish this though about some of the goofiness.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But all right. Well, I think that'll do it for us. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.